Okay, last time I saw you guys, we drew our sunflowers using a Sharpie marker, and then we are going to begin to add our watercolor crayons. So the way we're going to do this, we're not going to color it all the way in completely. We're just going to use our crayons to make short lines, lots of short little lines. Now, you don't want to completely color it in. That would be way too much. These crayons are very pigmented. So I'm just adding a little short line on the edge. Going around my sunflower. Now this part right here, the reason why it's colored in all the way, I already added water to that spot. So let me do a little example over here to show you. Then I'm going to let you try your own. After we have filled our paper in with lots of small short lines, that's when I'll give you the water and the paintbrush. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate how these work. So you're just adding all your little short lines. You can see that they're not all the way touching. And I might just have a little bit of orange in there. Make sure when you're done with the color, you put it back away in the box it came from. You don't need to color in, you're just making lines. So I've only finished this one flower. You are going to finish your whole paper before you add any water. So remember, we're not coloring it in all the way. I'll get my paintbrush out and show you on this one flower what happens when you start to add the water with your brush. Starts to color in all the way. It blends the lines. Now I still want to be able to see some of my crayon lines, so I'm not going to scrub the paper. And you work in little sections. If I were to take my paintbrush and go across like this, all the way across, that brown from there would smear and smudge into my yellow leaves. So it's just like watercolor painting, except for instead of dipping your brush into the paint to get the color on there, the color's already there, you're just activating it with water. So I would not want to take this brush and put it onto the stem without rinsing it off first. And since the petals are already wet, when I get this center area wet, I have to be careful that the two colors don't bleed together. So down here I already put my lines, so let me show you, zoom in and show you what happens. Okay. Some of my lines are touching a little bit, but that's okay. I did last time before I finished, I went back with some white. Even though you can't see the white that I'm putting on there, when I put the water on here and it blends together, it's going to create a different pigment. If your brush starts getting dry, just get some more water on it. So right here, my paper's starting to get a little too wet. Be careful. So if you take that paintbrush and you're scrubbing it on the paper, you're going to end up with a big hole in the middle of your paper. I'm crushing my green up here. It's better if you work in small areas.